Hey everybody, it's Farmer Lori, and today I'm really excited because I've got a new colony of bees and I'm going to be putting them into this hive, which is going to be their new home. This is a package of honeybees. There are about 10,000 bees inside this box, and right now they're all forming a big cluster in the middle around the queen. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take the cover off of the beehive, and inside there are a couple of things. One of the things in here is a sugar syrup feeder. So this is just a plastic frame that's filled with sugar water, and the reason that's in here is because that is going to be the food for our bees. So right now it's the early spring and there are not a lot of flowers, and usually bees like to drink nectar from inside of the flowers. So right now we need that sugar water to give them lots of energy to build their honeycomb. There are also lots of frames in here, and these are just plastic foundation dipped in wax, and the bees are going to use this to build their honeycomb off of. So I'm actually going to take a few of these out of here because the bees are going to be dumped in here and they need lots of space. Okay, so I am all suited up and I'm ready to go. I know that the bees don't want to sting me, but I'm putting on my suit just to be extra safe because bee stings can hurt. Okay, so now the bees are all spritzed down with a little bit of water so that they don't want to fly. And I'm just going to bump them down to the bottom of the box so that they don't come out. All right, so now I've got to take out this can here, which is actually just filled with sugar syrup because these little bees have been on the road. They just got here from California, and this has been keeping them well fed on their journey. All right, so I'm also going to get a little book ready because I want to cover them up so they don't all come flying out. Whoop, there's just a few. Okay, so now it's time to take out the queen. And I'm just going to bump them down one more time. Because the queen right, here she is. So we're just going to make sure that she is okay. There's lots of buzzing bees on here, which is super neat. And all those bees are attracted to the queen and they want to protect her. Yeah, and it looks like she is doing great. I am going to just gently bop her to the bottom. She's very important. And I'm going to quickly replace this cork she's got in here with a marshmallow. All right, and there we go. So there's now a tasty marshmallow in there for the queen bee to eat, and the worker bees are going to eventually eat through that marshmallow to free the queen bee. But we want to make sure that they get to know the queen and have plenty of time to get used to being in their new home before we let that queen out. Because if the queen is in the hive, then the rest of the bees will also stay in the hive. So we'll just make her nice and cozy in here. I'll put her attached to this frame, hanging off. Okay, now for the fun part. I'm gonna dump all of these bees in a big pile inside of the hive. Just kind of pouring the bees into their new home. And they're just in there in a big old pile. And then I'll kind of prop them up next to the front door so the rest of the bees can make themselves at home. All right, put them in there, and in a couple of days I can open it up, make sure the queen is free, and put in the rest of those frames. Here you can see the bees are waggling their butts in the air, and that is to let the other bees know that the queen is safe inside the hive, and this is the way to come home. Okay, so now that the queen bee is inside of the hive and most of the worker bees and drone bees are inside of the hive, we just have to wait for the remaining bees that are inside the package to find their way inside the front door. In a couple of days, the queen should be free, and everybody should be making lots of comb and building this into a really great place for them to live. Hope you all have a happy spring.